A result of having spent very much more than he earns. He never believed in cutting back. There was one occasion when he wrote to Clementine to say no more champagne at Chartwell, and that lasted all of 3 days. Otherwise, he always believed that the best way of dealing with being short of money, and he was short of money in part because he employed 14 servants at Chartwell, was to earn more. And that's the reason that we have the 36 books that he wrote and the hundreds of articles that he wrote, all of which, of course, are for sale here at Chartwell Books. And if we hadn't, had he been better off, we wouldn't have had these fantastic works of literature that really do bear rereading immediately after you finish my book. One of the things that happened as a result of Churchill being permanently broke is that when he wrote an article which he couldn't use, he would do what, or at least an editor wouldn't accept, he would do what a lot of journalists do, which is to just keep the article in a drawer for better days. And of course, when he became Prime Minister, all editors were willing to publish anything that he wrote. And so he brought out these old articles from the 1930s and sold them for the equivalent of £26,000 per article. And that's the reason why you get an extraordinary thing on the 7th of March 1942, where Churchill, and it's a terrible time for the Allies in 1942, the Japanese have taken 1/8 of the planet, the British are on retreat in the North African littoral, the Russians are on retreat against the Nazis in Russia. It's a bad time. And that is the time that the Prime Minister brings out and publishes an article in the Sunday Dispatch entitled, "Are There Men on the Moon?" And he concludes in this article that yes, there are probably men on the moon, there are certainly aliens, and there are bound to be UFOs as well. Again, ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine if Theresa May were to publish an article entitled, "Are There Men on the Moon?" concluding that, yes, indeed, there were.